What's up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've been back on the channel, but had some personal issues to deal with. But I'm back now, and I've been watching more anime than ever. I'm going to do something a little different for this particular video, and probably other videos to come. Some videos I feel strongly, or some anime I have felt strongly about, I will do a kind of a breakdown review for these particular shows. Ones that I care especially about in terms of how bad they are and how I felt about them, and some that I feel very strongly that is one of the best shows that I've been watching over the past few months. But for this particular video and videos to come, I will be talking about other animes that have popped up now and then, and probably not the greatest titles that have been brought up on Crunchyroll or any other media that any of you guys have watched over the past few months, but I'm going to cover some of them anyway. The first one I do want to talk about is 1 Week Friends. This one reminds me of a Adam Sandler movie, which I really, really hate to have to compare it to that, but it's kind of like that. If you haven't seen one of his movies, 50 First Dates, it's about a woman that has chronic amnesia, that she only remembers one specific day, and she loses memories of all the other stuff that happens like on a particular day. This one, 1 Week Friends, is similar to that, only it's about a girl who is purposely distancing herself from everyone else because she doesn't want to get attached to anybody, because she will forget any great memories that she's had with them. But one boy in particular tries his absolute best to be friends with her, and thinking that, oh, she doesn't get along with anybody else, so I probably should give it a shot to try to get to know her better. In my opinion, this show actually works, and I'm surprised to actually hear myself say that, since shows like this kind of feel like the plot's a little bit odd, but honestly, this actually does, and I can actually see this show working a little bit. Not as popular as some of the other romance shows or drama shows that I have watched over the past few years, but I think it has some merit to it. If you guys are looking for something different, check out 1 Week Friends. I've only seen like 2 episodes so far, and it's actually held up pretty nicely. They have a good plot going for it. Let me scroll down for a little bit. Where was that? Oh, yeah. Blade and Soul. This one I don't like too much. Blade and Soul is your typical chaotic world of maybe dark age type settings, where society hasn't really caught up to standards of decency and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like how Rome, Greece, Egypt, all those societies, even though they have been advanced, it's kind of that setting for that. It's mainly about a white-haired woman wandering the lands in a quest to avenge, I believe, her master. I'm still trying to get the actual plot of the show, but I have a real issue with this one in particular, and some of you might take it as a sexist remark, but believe me when I say this, they focus way too much attention to designs of the female body in this particular show. What I mean by this is they purposely dress the females in very revealing outfits and trying to get away with inconspicuous poses to give fan service. This does not work story-wise, or logically, for this matter. In this story, this woman fights a lot, and she's good at fighting. Now, I don't care if you are fucking Goku, OP as hell, can't take too much damage from anybody else. If you're wearing barely any clothing or any armor in particular, you are going to get hurt. And I know a lot of people have said this before, and I'm chucking my vote in this as well. You will more than often get hurt from any kind of weapon in particular. And they've shown this. They have swords. They have strong as hell characters who can fucking break a man in half. Not to mention guns as well. She is liable to actually get herself killed if she doesn't wear some kind of protection. But no, they have to go with this angle. And not only that, they have a large roster of characters that have bare bone wardrobe wise as tights or bikini tops or anything like that. This does not work in this kind of world. Not to mention, some of the plot is a little bit lost to me. And it's hard for me to follow this when the character that we're following is boring. She is absolutely boring. And it is shocking for me to even say this, even though she is one of the female characters that jump around doing cartwheels and freaking cutting people's throats, for God's sakes. She is just absolutely, undoubtedly boring. She barely gets any lines in the entire show. I actually counted the number of times she said something in the second episode. 5 times. 5 lines. I don't know if this comes across as a woman empowered or some kind of respect for this particular individual in Japan, but this does not work in character design. Yes, she is on a quest for vengeance, but I want to give a damn about this woman to get to know how she feels about certain other characters. I mean, we've seen interaction with one particular character that clearly has more personality than she does. This is one show I'm probably not going to be following for long, but I'll keep track of it. The last show I probably should highlight is... should I talk about... Yeah, let's talk about that one. Nanana's Buried Treasure. This one... I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit in the middle with this particular show. The story is a boy gets transferred to, I believe, an island academy, is living there for education-wise. Mainly, his father sent him there in order to get an education to go on an adventure. But in the process, he gets roomed up with, I'm not kidding, a ghost bound by the room that he lives in. And I don't have any problem with that. That's actually a pretty good plot line to go with. My main concern with the show is that it doesn't seem to really... How should I put it? There isn't a lot of characters on the show that kind of pop out as key characters. What I mean is, they haven't really developed a lot of depth to some of the characters, and I could be reading too much into it, even though I've only seen 2 episodes of it. But I've seen a lot of characters go through this process and not develop too much in the plot itself. Maybe it'll get better as I watch it go through, and I am going to keep track of this show. It does have some significance when the main character has discovered a I believe, a manual, a guide. I'm not really sure what they are calling this particular thing, but he discovers this manual explaining quite a little bit about the ghost that lives in the room, and it goes into more depth that you discover that she has actually been murdered. And this one, this is where it caught my attention. It's like it's been a while since I've actually seen a decent mystery type show tied in with adventure, aside from Conan Detective, or Detective Conan. I'm going to keep track of this show. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen shows that have gone way downhill from episode 2, namely Witchcraft Works. But this one definitely has some merit to it, and I will keep track of it for the time being. That's all about I got right now. I'm working on to try to get more details on certain shows that I have loved for quite some time and give my take on what I think about these shows. If any of you who are watching have any suggestions or like any of the reviews I've been posting, be sure to comment, like, or subscribe down below this screen. I would like some suggestions on how I can make the show a little bit better. I'm mainly here to give my opinions on shows that I absolutely love and shows that I absolutely downright hate. So feel free to tell me, and don't be afraid to hold back. So see you guys next time on the next Anime Talk Show.